Although we are saddened that we, the class of 2020, is unable to celebrate the end of our OLL journey in person, we still want to honor you, faculty and staff, who have helped us reach this point of where we are today. Many of us have attended Lourdes almost our entire lives, while some of us have been here only a few years. In the end, all of us have learned a thing or two to take with us into the next chapter of our lives. Many of you have watched us grow each year and achieve new things. You've taught us important virtues like honesty, patience, kindness, and forgiveness. Through your guidance and instruction, we have learned valuable skills like effectively communicating with each other, organizing our time and materials, and problem solving when we are faced with obstacles to overcome. We thank you for all the years of encouragement, support, and all the ways you have pushed us to be our best selves as not only students, but as members of our Lourdes community. You have helped us discover our God-given talents and have encouraged us to use them for the service of others. Your own lives of dedication and commitment to your work have truly been an example of self-giving and service. We hope to celebrate together in the near future, but for now, please enjoy this video of appreciation and thanks that we have prepared for you.
John Wooden said, "A good coach can change a game, and a great coach can change a life." Father Woody, over the years you have coached us and have been an example of the kind of faith to live. You have encouraged us to use our gifts to help others. Your kindness, stories, hugs, piano music, and humor are just a few ways you have inspired and motivated us.
Miss Olson, you are more than just a teacher to me. You help me prepare for middle school and high school. You probably don't hear it enough, but I really appreciate you and I thank you for your guidance and your support. Thank you for giving up your personal time to grade my papers and answer my homework questions. I will never forget the class's memorable outdoor school adventure. You spent so many hours planning that trip so the students could enjoy themselves. You have made a positive impact on my life. I will especially miss your snowball brain breaks. I have always admired your organizational skills and your passion for teaching. I can only hope to find a job that I will be as enthusiastic about. So thank you for everything you have done for me.
I would like to take a moment to say thank you to Mr. Braunstein. He always has a smile on his face. You have always pushed us during fitness testing to do our best. You always made PE classes so much fun. Thank you for always telling us your dad jokes. You always come up with the best PE units, including the dancing unit, volleyball, and badminton. Badminton was my favorite. I hope I get to see you and your family since we live in the same town and will be going to the same school. Thank you for being such a great teacher.
Mrs. Heimbigner, or as I like to call her, Mrs. H, is such a special person to me. She and I have been close since I was a preschooler at Leap. One of my favorite memories was when we played Uno and Sorry during our mornings together. Whether we are monkeying around during our shopping trips or serving others on our service projects, Mrs. H has been like a second mom to me. I will always be close to her my entire life, and I cannot wait until our next time together. I love you, Mrs. H.
Our class hasn't had Mrs. Odin as long as previous classes. In fact, all of our middle school years were cut short with her. We forget that easily because Mrs. Odin has been such a huge part of our walk through middle school. Through her love for sports, cheesy jokes, and fun projects, Mrs. Odin has made our 3 years in middle school 100 times more fun. We will never forget her contest of champions and playing toothpaste, or the Caldecott project and watching 30 for 30s that somehow related to social studies. Mrs. Odin has played such a significant role in our journey through middle school, and we will miss her greatly.
Mrs. B is an amazing Spanish teacher. She works very hard for her students.
She's very determined for her students to get good grades and for her students to understand what she is teaching them. She is very nice, fun, and a happy teacher. She makes Spanish fun. She gives us games to play, like Minh-Kiet, which the whole school plays now and enjoys it very much. She also has many fun things in the classroom, like a mini basketball hoop, pesos, and a treasure chest filled with candy and many other things. I am so glad that Mrs. B joined our school.
Thank you, Mrs. Brislawn, for always helping us with our classwork and for correcting all of our homework. Thank you for helping us through 4th, 5th, and 6th grades. We appreciate all the things you have done for us over the years. You have made a big impact on all of our lives. Thank you for all the positivity and advice you have given us throughout all our years at Lourdes. You are part of the family here at Lourdes, and we will never forget you.
Miss Allen is such a great social events director. I also have heard many great things about her leadership as well. She makes sure all the assemblies are entertaining to watch. We always look forward to what she has planned for us. Above all, she is such an enthusiastic, cheerful, and diligent person. I am so grateful to have had her as a teacher at Lourdes. Thank you so much, Miss Allen, for the hard work and effort you put into your job. Thank you, Miss Anderson, for all the wonderful memories you gave my classmates and me. I hope you continue to share your love of reading to the future OLL students so that they can have all the same wonderful experiences. Here are a few adjectives to describe you: kind, generous, thoughtful, inspiring, caring, bubbly, happy, leader. I'll close with my favorite quote. "It makes such a difference," said Pooh, "to have someone who believes in you." Thank you, Mrs. Anderson.
The 8th grade graduating class of 2020 would like to thank you, Mrs. Fazio, for all your hard work. We appreciate what you have done for us and for our school, not only as a teacher's aide, but also as a substitute teacher. We thank you for your dedication to the students of Our Lady of Lourdes and for helping us when our teachers couldn't be there. Your effort helps shape the future of all of the students of our school, and for that we are grateful.
When I think about Mrs. Weddle, the first word that comes to mind is creative. One of the many reasons she is great at being a preschool teacher is because of her creativity and great way with kids. Whether it is a holiday or just a regular day, she has something really fun planned for her preschoolers. We have all seen her amazing costumes, from hedgehogs to Capri Sun dresses, and her love of pigs is known throughout the whole school. But the thing that is most important about her is that she is kind and positive and has a positive attitude. Thank you for being part of our OLL experience.
Thank you, Mrs. Kern, for your dedication to our school and for all the work and effort that you put into it. I remember when you were a teacher's aide for Miss Dickson when I was in 2nd grade. I appreciate your attentiveness and commitment when I was in class with you. I hope that I meet teachers and school staff like you when I go to high school. I hope that you continue to show your consistent effort and loyalty with our school for years to come. Way after you graduate, stay safe and stay awesome.
Mr. Nutter never ceases to amaze me with his sparkling wit, in-depth science knowledge, and obscure movie references from ages long past. It seems only yesterday that our 4th grade selves entered into his classroom for the first time to receive an in-depth lesson on how to work out our brains and get them into first-rate growth mindset machines. Speaking of growth mindset, his mostly fun but slightly stressful group labs taught us many things about last-ditch attempts to achieve success and receive a passing grade. With Mr. Nutter's steady guidance, we have overcome the amygdala hijacks of science fair and shot onwards towards a bright and glory-filled festival of success. From loot planes to cookie lab, our time in Mr. Nutter's class has never been boring. As we move on to high school and are forced to silently suffer through many boring science classes to come, we will all think longingly back to the pun-filled and exciting world of science which we were first introduced to at OLL. Thank you, Mr. Nutter.
Miss Dickson, or as most of us will remember her as a teacher who loves owls, is a kind and caring teacher. Although Miss Dickson hasn't been our teacher since 1st or 2nd grade, she has played an important role in most of our lives. I've had a lot of amazing memories at Lourdes, and many of them are in Miss Dickson's room. From the excitement I would get when she would give me the look, allowing me to move up on the behavior chart, to her patience allowing a bunch of 7-year-olds to play with bugs in her science lessons. Without her, I wouldn't know how to spell or add and subtract. Miss Dickson has been my teacher for both kindergarten and first grade. I remember when I found out she was going to be the new second grade teacher, and after 2 years I wasn't going to be in her class. I was devastated and basically went ballistic. Miss Dickson's classroom was filled with love, joy, and a lot of owls. I was pretty upset I wasn't going to be a part of that anymore. Even though I didn't get her for all 3 years, I'm glad I got the 2 incredibly fun years I did get. Thank you, Miss Dickson, for all the amazing memories that you gave me and many of my classmates.
Thank you, Mrs. Wickizer, for opening the lab at recess so I could play educational games on the computers. I really enjoyed the yearbook committee, and thank you for teaching me how to type. I also enjoyed the coding classes. It was really fun working with the robots. Thanks for being my computer lab teacher. I will remember it forever.
I would like to thank Mrs. Pynenburg. I started at Our Lady of Lourdes in 4th grade. It was a new environment for me, and I didn't know many people, although I knew you from years of dancing at Dance Fusion. It was nice to have a familiar face at a time where I basically knew no one. You often checked up on me and made me feel welcome. You helped me become less shy and open up more. I started to try and do things that I wouldn't have done before. You helped me grow into a better version of myself and helped me adapt into this new community and environment. I want to say thank you for all that you've done for me in our school. I admire you and I think you're a wonderful person. You've helped many new families become a part of our community and welcome them with open arms. I'll miss you.
Thank you, Mrs. Ferguson, for everything you helped me learn. I remember that in 3rd and 4th grade, you were one of the main teachers I had. I feel like you taught me the majority of the stuff I need to learn growing up. It wasn't just language arts and math that you were helping me with, but you were also helping teach me life skills that I use now and will keep on using in the future. Thank you for taking on the challenge of teaching chatty classes like my own, and please keep doing that with others at Lourdes. I know all the future students will love having you there.
I've had a hard time coming up with things to say about Mrs. Gard. That sounds like a bad thing, but it really isn't. We enjoyed her class, but she runs a tight ship. She didn't give us time for messing around or goofing off, so I don't have one of those remember when something happened with someone and someone stories. She gave me a better understanding of different types of music, their history, and how they evolved into the forms we know today. I hope that you continue to motivate and inspire more students through the coming years.
Dr. Dody is an amazing teacher. She is patient and kind while still being in control of our class. We learned so much this year while still having fun. She is focused and hardworking and made our choir class 100 times better. I had so much fun singing in her class when I hadn't liked choir at all before. I felt comfortable and relaxed and got to actually have a good time at school. I think the school definitely made a good choice when they hired her, and I'm sad we won't be able to sing together anymore.
Mr. Lloyd is a great teacher, and it's too bad he couldn't be here all middle school. This last year of school has been great and just made better that we had Mr. Lloyd as our homeroom teacher. Mr. Lloyd is a kind teacher who helps me and anyone else who is confused on math and explains it to us. And I'm sure everyone in the class got plenty from his classes, math and religion.
I will remember Mrs. Dean the most for these things: her candy jar, the yoga balls, and her undying love for Wazoo, especially her coffee cup. Your classroom always smelled so good because of your coffee, and everyone would get really excited when you'd pull out your iconic candy jar because that meant candy quizzes. One of my favorite memories was in 4th grade when Leo fell asleep at the beginning of the day on the carpet area. Thank you, Mrs. Dean, for being an amazing, kind teacher.
I would like to thank Mr. Askman for his services to the school. I know it probably wasn't the most glamorous job, but I truly appreciated him fixing up our school. Every time we would pass in the hall, he would say something kind to me and brighten my day. Every time I was sent to go get something from his office, he was always quick with a joke, and then would ask me how my day was. I didn't realize until my later years that not all schools have someone like that. Someone who would be able to clean up our messes and like us. Once again, I would like to express my gratitude towards him for always keeping the place we learned secure, clean, and tidy. Thank you for keeping our spirits high.
Whenever I walk into the south side doors of Lourdes, I always see Mrs. Askman, who's ready with the tardy slip because I was probably late. Mrs. Askman doesn't give just tardy slips, though. She will give you the most delicious gummy bears for distributing milk to classrooms, tooth necklaces after you've lost a tooth, and extra lunches if you've forgotten your own. I remember that my classmates and I were always scared to get our loose teeth pulled out at the office because we thought that it would hurt. Going to high school without seeing you in the front office will be so different. Thank you so much for all of the memorable experiences you've given us.
Thank you, Mrs. DeNault, for all the support during my 6th and 7th grade years. I appreciate you for teaching me and my peers how to become better writers during our 2 years of middle school. During these past years, I've enjoyed spending time in your class, learning about many different writing techniques. Thank you for being a great teacher, and have a great summer.
Mrs. Hundt, you have been an amazing teacher, an awesome principal, and so much more. You have been my guide and mentor through these middle school years. You have helped me to find the strength to believe in myself and to learn to push myself. You have helped me socially and have given me the tools I will need as I move on to high school. I love your organizational skills and have tried to model myself after you. Your random and crazy Friday surprises were what I looked forward to each week. You mean so much to me, and I hope you will always be a part of my life. I love you, Mrs. Hundt. To all the teachers and staff at Our Lady of Lourdes, we appreciate you and thank you for all that you have done for us. Over the past 9 or so years, you have helped us become a family. You have taught each one of us to be guided by our faith, to lead by example, and to find our own love for learning. We are all so lucky and grateful to have come from such an amazing school. The class of 2020 thanks you from the bottom of our hearts.